Yeah,
Make a lot of money.
yeah, I do all right for myself.
Hollywood legend Leonardo DiCaprio has a lot of stupidly expensive things he owns. Like, a lot. But let's kick this off with the craziest thing he owns: a dinosaur skull. The man went full Jurassic Park, and not just any dinosaur skull. He shelled out between $35,000 and $40,000 for a Mosasaurus fossil. Because when you're worth $300 million, why limit yourself to standard home decor like potted plants or a fancy vase, when you can have an 80-million-year-old conversation starter chilling in your living room? But let's take a step back and talk about the actor for a second. Here's the thing. It's easy to point to Titanic as the beginning of Leonardo DiCaprio's meteoric rise, or The Wolf of Wall Street as one of his defining roles. Hardcore fans might even throw in Revolutionary Road for good measure. But Leo's journey didn't begin with glamorous films and Oscar buzz. It actually started way back when he was a tiny tot, landing his first gig on Romper Room, a kids' TV show that ran for over 40 years.
Okay, come on over by me, David. All right, now try hitting the balloon with your elbows. Uh-oh, it's a little bit harder.
That is, until little Leo got kicked off for being too unruly. Imagine that, 5-year-old DiCaprio booted for being a handful. Little did those producers know that the spirited kid they gave the boot to would go on to become one of the biggest actors of his generation, eventually starring in Titanic, a film that held the title of highest grossing movie until 2009. After his childhood antics, DiCaprio's early career saw him cutting his teeth in films like Critters 3 and What's Eating Gilbert Grape, where he earned an Oscar nod. But it was Titanic that sent his career into the stratosphere, and once he boarded that doomed ship, there was no turning back. From Catch Me If You Can to Inception, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and beyond, Leo's filmography became packed with hits.
And the Oscar goes to Leonardo DiCaprio.
And with his star power growing, so did his paychecks. Rumor has it he was pulling in a cool $20 million per film. Currently, Leonardo DiCaprio's net worth is enough to buy, well, everything. Remember, we're talking about $300 million, more than most of us will ever see in a lifetime. But you know what they say about money. When you've got loads of it, you can toss it around. And Leo? He's out here flexing, especially in the real estate market. Because why stop at one house when you can scoop up a property in every city, right? Let's kick things off with his $10 million Beverly Hills mansion. This thing is a 5,000 square foot palace with 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and probably enough closet space to fit an entire H&M store. It's basically so big that the square footage of the bathrooms alone could house a small family. Talk about living large. He bought it in December 2021, but just a few months earlier, Leo was out here dropping $13.8 million on a 2-story Malibu beach house. I mean, why not have a place to sip your organic kale juice while watching the sun set over the ocean? If you're going to save the planet, might as well do it with a view. And trust me, Leo's far from done. He's been working on developing a $23 million Paradise Cove lot in Malibu since 2017. The kicker? It's right next door to Courtney Cox's mansion. I guess even Hollywood megastars need neighbors to borrow a cup of sugar from, or maybe some sunscreen, seeing as it's Malibu and all. Now, if you think Leo's stuck in the present, think again. The guy's holding on to some of the earliest properties in Hollywood Hills, including one that used to belong to Madonna. He snagged it for $4 million, which in DiCaprio terms is basically like buying a pack of gum at checkout. Throw in his $1.56 million Spanish-style pad in Silver Lake, LA, and his $2.2 million ranch outside of LA, and yeah, Leo's real estate portfolio could rival a small kingdom. And Leo's not just a buyer, he's a seller too. He already flipped a Malibu beach home for $10.3 million. Oh, and the $7.1 million mansion he bought for his mom? That one's a former star-studded property previously owned by Jesse Tyler Ferguson, Robert Pattinson, and Gwen Stefani. That's some serious real estate royalty. Not one to leave family out, Leo made sure to get his dad in on the action too. He bought a $5 million Tudor-style home in Los Feliz, previously owned by Moby. Apparently, DiCaprio family reunions come with a side of celebrity real estate trivia. But Leo doesn't just hoard homes, he's a landlord too. If you've got an extra $25,000 a month lying around, you could rent his 3-bedroom Malibu beach bungalow. Or for a mere $3,750 a night, you could crash at his 6-bedroom Palm Springs home. That's the cost of living out your Gatsby fantasies, minus the tragic ending, of course. But houses are just one of the things Leo spends his cash on, because right now we have to get to the vehicles in his garage. One of the vehicles in his collection is a Toyota Prius, of all things. Yep, Leo has one of the greenest, most fuel-efficient rides known to man. And it's not even close to being his most expensive toy. Priced at around a modest $22,000, this Prius boasts an inline-4 hybrid powertrain that cranks out a solid 110 horsepower. It's perfect for when he wants to roam around Los Angeles unnoticed. Though let's be real, this is Leonardo DiCaprio. Blending in isn't exactly in his DNA. But hey, if you want to get a ride that won't break the bank and will sip fuel rather than guzzle it, the Prius is where it's at. The car's speed? Well, it's a different story. A leisurely 10.3 seconds to get from 0 to 60, with a top speed of 105 miles per hour. The Prius isn't winning any drag races, but at least it's helping save the planet. But then he steps it up with his Polestar 2. This car's minimalist design might look chill, but its price of $34,000 and a range of 270 miles on a single charge make it a real electric powerhouse. Thanks to its 78 kilowatt battery, this car can go from 10% to 80% charge in 35 minutes. While it may not be the fastest car in Leo's garage, with a 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.8 seconds and a top speed of 127 miles per hour, it's the eco-friendly hero we all secretly want in our lives. But then there's the Lexus RX 450h, a hybrid SUV that DiCaprio uses when he wants a touch of both luxury and earth consciousness. At just under $50,000, this car is packed with a 3.5-liter V6 engine and an electric motor, giving it a total output of 308 horsepower. Sure, it's got a slightly slower 0 to 60 miles per hour of 7.1 seconds, and its top speed is a respectable 124 miles per hour. But it's the blend of performance and comfort that make this Lexus a true baller move. Now, don't be fooled by all these hybrids and eco-friendly cars. Leo's still got some serious horsepower in his garage. Enter the Porsche Cayenne S, a German beast with a price tag of $77,400. This sporty SUV houses a 3.6-liter twin-turbocharged V6 engine, cranking out an impressive 420 horsepower. It can hit 60 miles per hour in just 4.9 seconds and reach a top speed of 164 miles per hour. And of course, no modern eco-warrior's garage would be complete without a Tesla. Leonardo's Tesla Model S is a representation of what happens when cutting-edge tech meets Hollywood glam. With a price tag of around $100,000, this electric sedan brings power in spades, thanks to its front and rear 3-phase AC induction motors. With 670 horsepower, the Tesla can go from 0 to 60 in a blistering 3.1 seconds. And while it's electronically limited to a top speed of 155 miles per hour, that's still plenty fast for a casual joyride through Malibu. If you thought that was fancy, wait till you hear about Leo's Fisker Karma. A rare gem in the automotive world, the Fisker Karma comes with a hefty $102,000 price tag and packs a punch with its 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder, supported by 2 electric motors. With a combined output of 403 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 981 foot-pound of torque, this car is built for people who love both speed and luxury. The Karma can go from 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, but its top speed is capped at 125 miles per hour. It may not break records, but it certainly turns heads with its innovative hybrid technology. Speaking of rare finds, Leonardo also owns a Tesla Roadster, one of the fastest production electric cars in the world. Priced at around $200,000, this electric beast produces a mind-bending 1,020 horsepower and can leap from 0 to 60 in a mere 1.9 seconds. With a top speed of over 250 miles per hour, this is the car you want if you ever feel like outrunning the paparazzi, or maybe just leaving traffic in the dust as you head to your next premiere. But when Leo's not channeling his inner race car driver, he's probably lounging in his Range Rover SV Autobiography, the ultimate luxury SUV. This beauty is priced at $220,000 and comes with all the bells and whistles, from a Meridian sound system to heated and cooled seats. Under the hood, you'll find a 5-liter supercharged V8 engine producing 557 horsepower, making this massive SUV surprisingly quick on its feet, with a 0 to 60 time of 4.7 seconds and a top speed of 155 miles per hour. Leonardo DiCaprio might be the king of eco-friendly cars, but even he hasn't escaped criticism for his high-flying lifestyle. Literally. Despite owning hybrids and electric cars, the actor has been slammed for frequently hopping on private jets. Though it's unclear which jet is his personal favorite, Leo has been spotted boarding a variety of planes, including the lavish Bombardier Global 6000. And let's just say this beauty comes with a jaw-dropping price tag of around $60 million. That's right, million with an M. But owning one isn't just about the purchase. Operating costs are sky high too, with fuel, maintenance, and crew expenses adding up to around $2,500 to $4,000 per flight hour. So if you ever feel like chartering one of these bad boys, be prepared to shell out as much as $200,000 for a single trip. Pocket change, right? Now, here's where the hypocrisy accusations come in. Back in 2016, Leo faced some serious backlash for burning through a cool 8,000 miles on a private jet just to accept an environmental award. That's right, the man got slammed for flying halfway across the world to be celebrated for being green. The irony wasn't lost on anyone, and the internet wasted no time calling him a hypocrite. And apparently, even Leo took the heat to heart. By 2021, the Oscar-winning star was arriving at the UN Climate Change Conference COP26 on, you guessed it, a commercial flight. Gone were the days of jet setting and private luxury. Instead, Leo was squished into a commercial flight. Okay, maybe not exactly squished, we all know he was riding first class, with plenty of legroom, fancy snacks, and maybe even a mini bottle of champagne. Now, if you think Leo's vehicles, and their backstory of course, are wild, just wait till you hear what else he's throwing his money at. Get ready, Star Wars fans. This man spent $18,000 on a Star Wars vinyl cape. Yup, $18,000 for a cape. Apparently, being a Hollywood superstar doesn't stop you from splurging on the kind of memorabilia that makes you feel like you're one step away from chilling with Chewbacca. And hey, if we learned anything from The Wolf of Wall Street, it's that Leo loves a good collection. Though vinyl capes didn't exactly make the cut for that movie's budget. But let's get back to Leo's artistic side. Did you know Leonardo DiCaprio is named after Leonardo da Vinci? Fun fact, when his mother was pregnant, she was admiring a Da Vinci painting in Italy when little Leo decided to kick for the first time. Just like that, the question of names for the baby was sorted. It's no surprise then that Leo inherited his parents' love for the arts, and he's been dropping millions on art pieces like he's curating the Louvre 2.0. He's got a $1.2 million Salvador Dali piece he won at auction, a Jean-Pierre Roy painting for $38,000, and works from artists like Watson Ford and Oscar Murillo. But it's not all sunshine and art auctions for the actor. Some of his purchases have stirred up quite a bit of drama. He had to surrender a $9 million Jean-Michel Basquiat and a $3.2 million Picasso painting to the FBI as part of a money laundering investigation. Oops. Despite that little hiccup, Leo's art collection is so impressive that Art News ranked him among the top 200 art collectors in the world. Now, I know you think that's wild, but it's not just art Leo is collecting. He's also collecting old Hollywood antiques like the original ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz. This cost him a whopping $3 million. Apparently, Leo's love for classic cinema runs deep. Deep enough to justify spending that kind of cash on a pair of lady shoes.
I'm the king of the world!
Yes, you are, Leo. Yes, you are.